Go to Walmart. Oh man, I'm in there 3 hours getting a set of tires, but
you went to the wrong place.
It was 5 minutes away.
Man,
I rolled bumpity down Gene Snyder.
Somebody got you.
But we're here, man. We have a special guest in the building. Look, we had this guy on actually. Has it been a year yet? Yeah, it's been about a year.
It's been a year. It's been a year.
It's been right about a year.
Yeah.
It's been about a year. I'm gonna let Andre introduce himself, but we had him on a year ago, and when we had him on, it was because he redesigned the jacket for the Kentucky Derby Festival, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and look, this jacket, if you haven't seen it around town, to my understanding, these jackets are pretty unique.
They look better when he designed them than they ever did.
Are you in the mic?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. These jackets though these jackets are custom designed. I think they're worn by administrators or officials of the Kentucky Derby festivals.
Yeah, the entire board.
The entire board.
120 jackets.
120 jackets.
Yeah.
And you designed a jacket last year. Was it pink? Was it the color?
Mm-hmm.
It was a pink jacket, and it was pretty unique.
Yes.
And it was pretty popular.
Right.
So the jacket spread like wildfire. But again, tell people your name, introduce what you do, who you are, and how you contribute to this jacket. And then we'll get into the controversy.
You got it. All right. My name is Andre Wilson, and I'm a fashion designer and stylist here in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
And in last year, well, I'd say more like 2017, I got a text from the Vice President, Stacey Robinson, about the jacket. So to kind of give you a little pretext before that this conversation started on Facebook. Okay. Because one of the board members posted a jacket. And they were like, well, you're gonna have this, it's Derby time, we're gonna have this clean. And this is when it was like the khaki and black jacket, right?
Okay. Let me ask a question. Let me stop there for a minute. Okay. Now prior to you redesigning the jacket, do they do a jacket every year, or was this something?
Yes. They've done a Pegasus jacket for probably the last maybe 40 years.
But are they different designs every year?
No, I think every maybe 7-8 years they change out the design.
Okay, but prior to you redesigning it, it had been that khaki and black for a few years.
Yeah, it'd been the khaki and black, I think, for about maybe 6 or 7 years.
Okay, so this is something new and fresh.
Right, something. So the jacket wasn't a design triumph. It just people wore it. It was a necessary thing they had to wear, and so somebody puts it on Facebook, and then one of her friends chimes in, is like, "What is that? That's hideous. Why are you wearing that to Derby?" And so they tagged me in it and like, "Andre, please explain this." And I, said, "Look, this is a tremendous honor to wear the jacket. The board, they do Thunder of Louisville, they do the Pegasus Parade, but the jacket could use an update."
Okay.
Then the Vice President chimes in and was like, "Hey, we're about to run out of fabric. We'd love to talk." So we meet in June, have a good conversation. You know how it is. You walk away from a meeting, you're like, they like me, I like them. This is going to work. We got this, right? Well, nothing happens.
Okay.
So 4 months later, on about October 25th, I get a text. And the text is, "Andre, can you help? We are stuck. This project is everywhere."
This is from the board?
This is from the Vice President.
Okay.
Stacey. So I get a text. And then it was like one of those urgent meetings of like, urgent text, like, "Can you meet? When can you meet? Can you meet tomorrow? Like, we need you ASAP. Can you bring us cocktails? Can you bring us medication? Whatever. Like, can we meet?" Right. Okay. So I go in, and when I walk in, there's maybe 20 or 30 mock-ups. Like they had talked to other companies, bigger companies outside Louisville, but there was they just didn't know what to do. It was a kind of, you have too many choices.
Okay.
So I walk in and they just like, we don't know what to do. Like, we don't know where to start. So we had to, and when I'm styling anybody, because what people do is that most people can tell you what they don't want, right? When I'm with a client, she's like, "Don't put me on, I don't want skinny jeans, I don't want half shirt, right. I'm not trying to look like my daughter," you know what I mean? So they tell me all that, but then what I try to do is try to refocus and say, "What do you want? Let's concentrate on what do you want." So I make every client choose 3 words. What do you truly want? And so they tell me that we need something that stands out. Okay. We need something that's reflective of our brand, and we want something that's fun and also updated and like modernized. So then we kind of got it down to 1 color. And then I walked them through the process of, okay, let's start on one thing. Let's make one decision. Instead of making 20, let's make 1. And so then I became the stylist and walked them through that process. And then they needed a designer. So then decided what they wanted, sketch it out by hand, had this amazing guy named Soren with this company called Move Tech. He did like 7 digital renderings. And so I took them to digital.
So you had to explain to us what a digital rendering is.
A digital rendering. So when I do a sketch, like I'm like, okay, let me get this idea and I'm sketching it out. Well, then my my art like background makes me want to I want every detail in it. So I do too much. Okay. So I give him the sketch. And then I also know if they can't agree on a color, they need to see this jacket for real. Like as close to a model, 3D model I can get.
Got you.
You know, and so they needed to see so I had him do this amazing 3D sketch. Like it was, 3D rendering, which was just like a digital rendering of the jacket. Like it had a shirt and tie. It was really, really nice. And you could see it from about maybe about 3/4 the angle. So because I wanted them to see it and envision it so they can conceptualize it.
Just gave me an idea. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. All right. Side meetings later on. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay. Yeah. So then after that, and then I began to, then after we decided on, after, I gave them 7 renderings of different styles, different models, just really updates and modernization in how do we make it more modern, whether switching out the lapel, piping, all kinds of things. So then after that, then I began to source the fabric. And then I found this amazing mill in New York that had mills in China, Switzerland, and Italy. And so then we got then it got into the involved details of and I got way too into it, right?
So you're involved with the entire process.
The entire process, from to the point now, and I posted a Facebook video the other day of, because I didn't let people see that part, was that of me actually measuring out the Pegasus and how deep it was going to be. And so I had to redesign the Pegasus first. And so we made it this raised kind of 3D effect. It was filled in a more substantial. And then I wanted to also put it in a vertical alignment because, any woman to tell you, or even as a stylist and just design theory, if you can create a straight line, it looks tall, it looks leaner. And so we lined them up vertically. I moved them closer together so they're more visually pleasing to the eye, and then sourced the fabric, got it made, and I chose everything from literally down to the shoulder pad that goes in the coat.
So did all of this come out of your pocket?
No.
Okay.
No, they paid for the manufacturing and things like that. It was just so many conversations in between kind of making those decisions because they wanted a beautiful jacket, but I didn't bother saying, hey, this is everything I'm doing. I wanted my client to be happy and have a beautiful jacket. So I did what it took to get it done. Okay.
So the jacket is made. You were part of the process from beginning to end.
Yes.
Now the jacket is made. At this time last year, everyone seems to be happy. I seen these jackets around town everywhere.
You can't. They're a little bright.
Bright pink.
Well, when somebody says, "How do I stand out at the Kentucky Derby?" Right. It's 160,000 people.
Yeah.
People are wearing everything. The hats are big, and so you have to do something a little bit different.
And to your credit, these jackets, they're kind of iconically, I can put them on the level of the Masters jackets, because the Masters jacket is a green jacket that stands out, that exactly what it is. This is kind of on that level. You know exactly what this jacket is.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It just we wanted something that was distinctive, that was reflective, and then when they put it on, they enjoyed it. So, and I was very happy about that.
Okay, so now we move forward. Okay, and your now complaint is that this jacket or this design has been used, I guess, in other places outside the jacket. Was the Pegasus used outside of the jacket?
Yes.
Okay, so this design has been used on, I think I saw up to 250,000 different places, or on 250,000 different articles or different items.
Yeah. So here's what happened. So I designed the jacket for, and I'm trying to find. I got the pen somewhere around here.
Okay.
So I designed the jacket for the nonprofit board. It's only supposed to be used for the board. And so what happens after it gets popular, then they kind of have a problem that they've never had before. People are calling and asking to buy the jacket.
Yeah, they want that ugly brown jacket.
Right. Nobody wants the jacket, right?
But this new high jacket is popular. People want it.
Like I said, it's a new problem they never had before. Okay. So anyway, so then after that, we had many conversations about monetizing it. And they wanted to keep it exclusive to the board. They wanted a dress out of it. People wanted jumpsuits, which a jumpsuit would have been fire, though. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah,
jumpsuit would have been fire.
So you're calling back in for these discussions?
Well, we're having the discussion just through the process because I'm fitting jackets, and so then we're like, okay, look, they're never going to monetize it. No big deal. All right, so it's exclusive to the board. Okay, we're good, and you know, I had a couple other issues I can't really go into with them, but it was, I knew that, hey, you know what? It was fine. I did my job. I over delivered. I worked really, really hard, and they have something that they love now. Let me wipe my hands off of it and I move on. Well, then I guess then the jacket wins like this. They have like an international festival of, I think it's expos, and I can't think it's IFEA.
Okay.
So the jacket wins a corporate image award, like the gold corporate image award.
So this jacket's doing things.
Right. So and they win several awards there, but the corporate image award was, I'm thinking, wow, that's incredible. Like this pinnacle gold corporate image award. And I found out about it a couple weeks later because I ran into the CEO in the mall, like just passing him.
So you weren't supposed to find out about it?
I don't know. I don't know.
But you weren't notified.
Right. My point was, I would think somebody would call, you know, like say, hey, by the way. And so he said, oh, by the way, your jacket design won an award. Thanks. And I called the office, and they're like, oh, you know, here's what it was. I'm like, and then I posted myself, you know.
Right.
So anyway, so I get how I find out about the Pegasus pin, and to kind of clear it up. It's not necessarily it's that when they, of course, they do the Pegasus pin every year. Right. Now, when I look at the Pegasus pin, I get tagged in it on my Facebook and says, congratulations, Andre. And I'm thinking, what? I have no idea what's going on. Who is this? It's something from months ago. All right, no big deal. I look at it and I see this pen. Okay. And I see the article and I'm like, oh, what?
Oh, the pen is actually your jacket.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, now wait a minute. Now for people that are unfamiliar, right? Every year, to my knowledge, as I've been in Louisville,
right,
the Kentucky Derby Festival uses a Pegasus pin
Speak on
to represent the Kentucky Derby Festival. Using that
get
pin,
into
it gets you into the
events,
authorized Kentucky Derby, Kentucky Festival events.
Right.
And there's a multitude of events every year.
Exactly.
So you buy a pin. I don't know what it used to be $5. I think it's $7 or $8 now.
$6.
Something in that range. You buy a pin, it gets you in. As long as I've brought a pin for the past 20 years, it's been the Pegasus. Is it a unicorn or how you describe it? It's a Pegasus, but it's
some form of a Pegasus.
Some form of Pegasus, right? So this is my first time seeing this.
Okay.
So now this actual pin now is is pink the right color? Am I using the right color?
Pink, yeah.
Okay. This
fuchsia pink. Fuchsia pink.
This fuchsia pink jacket is now the pin.
Yes, sir.
I've never seen that.
Yes, sir.
Is that this year's pin? Or was that last year?
This year.
So they continue the theme this year, and they use the jacket that you designed as the pin.
Yeah, and we'll take a step further. That Mike Berry, the CEO, and I don't have the exact quote, but in the article he says that the jacket was so popular last year with our festival fans that we decided to make it the pin, and they took my exact jacket design.
They have. Okay. I'm looking at it.
Right, look at it down to the aqua lining inside. I chose that lining. Like I spent days on this lining, like just because I wanted everything to be right.
I was not aware of that. So on average, I need to do my homework on this, but off the top of the head, on the average, about how many pins do they sell a year?
That's where the 250,000 number comes in.
Okay, so roughly 250,000 pins or so.
Yeah, and so in the article, they projected to sell 250,000 pins. Now, then I started thinking, okay, wait a minute. You know, off the initial excitement and shock happens. I'm like, wow, that's my jacket. Wow, it's the Pegasus pin. That's crazy. And I'm like, I wonder how many they sell. 250,000. Then I'm thinking, okay, 250,000 times $6. What is that?
Right.
What is that?
It's a lot of money.
Right.
So it's 1.5 million, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So 1.5 million. And I'm like, okay, wait, okay. All right, this don't, okay, wait. Now the red flags start to go up. This doesn't feel right. Wait, something, should they have notified me?
Right.
Should they have asked me?
Yeah.
Did they infringe on my copyright? I don't know. Then I start looking at the contract. Then I'm searching my place for the contract. I'm like, oh my God. I'm thinking,
we're talking about dollars now.
Then I'm thinking, wait a minute. And then I thought, okay, they probably hit me with that last line of the contract.
That everything belongs to them.
And I'm thinking I signed my rights away. Oh, you know, then I'm start beating myself. I'm like, oh man, I can't believe it. So I get the contract out. No, I didn't sign my intellectual property rights away. I didn't do that.
You did not.
I designed it they were concerned about the price, bringing it in on budget and bringing it in on time. And I did not sign my intellectual property rights away. And when they contracted me, you know, they paid me $4,500 over 6 months. Okay. So, but they contracted me for one thing. specifically designing for the board.
I was going to ask you that. Is that language in the
It
contract?
is. It's
Okay.
designing for the jacket is designed for 100+ board members and staff members, and that's exactly
Aha.
now where we have where it gets different. Yeah, where it gets very interesting is that now you can't just use this work to then sell it to the general public.
Right.
You don't have my permission. We never had a conversation about it. And now you're taking something I created at a really, and I even, lost money on it and like took hits myself just trying to get it in budget and on time.
I was gonna say $2,500 is
well, it's like $750 a month over 6 months.
Yeah.
For 120 jackets.
Right.
And months and months of working and getting up at, and also we got the fabric made in about maybe 3 weeks. Okay. Now it takes 3 or 4 months to make fabric, especially custom embroidered fabric. And I'm getting up at now Switzerland is about maybe 6 or 7 hours ahead of us. Okay. China might be 13 hours ahead or behind. I can't remember, but there's a 13-hour difference and a 7-hour difference. Now it's so the every minute is so tight with getting the fabric design, because if we don't get the fabric out of China,
you're missing the deadline.
We miss the deadline. And they also, what you don't know, anybody who's dealt with China, there's something called the Chinese New Year. Now they don't just take a weekend off. It shuts down for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, in some places even a month. Yeah, they don't play. So they're like, if you don't get it out by now, and so I'm working with the fabric designer, and the fabric mill I was working with, they do fabric for like Chanel, J. Crew. It's a very large, fabric house.
So you're the person actually in contact with these mills personally?
Yes.
Okay.
I made every decision, and they moved to my specifications. If I said make it half inch bigger, spread it this way, move it this way, adjust it this way, that's exactly what they did. And shout out to them. They treated me as if I was Chanel. Like they gave me that same respect, and we got it done. Okay. And it was an impossible feat. So back to kind of the original contract. And so now you're selling my design. We've never had that conversation. We never had those permissions. And you don't own it. You don't own it. So now you've done something, and now that's when I retain an attorney, just to, number one, find out my rights. Right. And then to see, okay, let's extend this conversation.
So what was the interesting twist to this? So did you sue? Did you go after them, or did they come out?
Okay. So here's where it gets public. So I retain an attorney, and then we automatically get so we get a copyright on the fabric, all those things.
Oh, you obtained the copyright for the fabric?
Yeah, copyright on fabric. Now, here's where it gets interesting. That we sent them about 3 letters. Okay, first was, hey, we're excited and honored, but we'd like to request this royalty for the pen and whatever else, because it's on Evan Williams. It's in conjunction with Evan Williams. They're selling the liquor brand. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're selling limited edition bottles for like $75 a bottle.
With that design on it,
with the jacket,
with the pen like attached to it. And,
okay.
So anyway, so then we send them about 3 letters. Now each time, first they sent us a response like, all you did was change the color, because that's their narrative, right? Right. Well, all they did was change the color. Then it came back, and each time they doubled down on their position, and the claim got a little more. Just what they try to do is just discredit me more as the designer. Okay. So then we get to the point where like, okay, look, we're tired of this. Okay. We send them a letter. I think it may be maybe March 29th. Like our last letter was, we really want to resolve this, but this is you guys are continuing to discredit Mr. Wilson, and you're calling now he's not even a designer, and so now we are not afraid. Like, we will go like this Monday. I think it might have been April 8th or 9th or whatever. Like we will tell our story.
Okay,
and we will.
Stop here for a second.
Okay.
Roughly, do you remember that around the month when you started litigate as far as sending letters out?
Yeah, it was the end of February, the end of February, beginning of March. Yes. So the pen comes out like February 15th. Okay. Then go through the process, and then maybe about 28th, something like that, February 20th, start sending letters. And then, so now we're at this part where about March 29th, and we tell them, look, we're not afraid to do this, but we want to talk, let's not even do this.
Not a killer, but don't push me.
Right. This is going to be a mess. So then April 4th, the day I will never forget, is that then I find out, and this is the big misconception, that number one, they sued me. So my attorney calls me about 8 o'clock and says, Andre, they sued you. She sends me the complaint. They filed on, they filed in federal court, and they come after me.
Grounds being?
Grounds being they want me to rescind and cancel my copyright, and they want me to stop making claims for royalties. Okay. So that's what they want. And they come after me, they put their narrative, they put their story. Now they take it one step further, okay? And then they feed the story to the media.
Okay. Right.
Okay. So now there's the press release.
Right.
It's their side. Okay. The press release comes out, and now, because I'm like, okay, look, you know what? They sued me. Fine. We thought we knew it was a possibility. I'll deal with this on Monday. Okay. About an hour later, she said, I just got a call from Business First. And I'm like, oh, no, don't tell me they didn't. Don't tell me that. No, they didn't. Then I get a call from Carrie Journal.
Yeah, the press release went out.
Now, I'm not even thinking there's a press release. I'm thinking, how do they know so quick? Like, did they just make a call? Then I found out there's a whole press release. Then my wife is like, oh, it's on this, and it's all their narrative. And I'm like, oh, and they position it just right.
Of course they did.
So then I'm like, okay, I don't want to deal with this. I sleep about an hour that night. And then the next day I start getting calls from news stations. So my whole next Friday is spent Fox 41, WLKY, WHS, and I go on up here live on all of them, and then we get into, and then Terry Miner's show later on, and I'm just kind of telling my side of the story.
You should have came here first.
Yeah.
But
so then it gets, and then it's exhausting just defending your point.
Right. And
you don't know how they're gonna chop it up, and you have no idea. You just have to say, okay, look, this is my side. They go on camera, I go on camera. So now, and then also that night when I find out I'm getting sued, I go and just bang out a statement. I'm like, okay, this is I'm shaking, my heart's beating. I'm like, what do I do now? And then I put out my statement, and that statement on Facebook, man, has been shared probably around 1,800 times, and that's the people who like the artists and musicians and just people who this is every artist's worst nightmare.
Right.
That you're going to create something and then somebody's going to generate any kind of revenue from it.
And the fear, not to cut you off, but the fear here is that, and like I said, I don't know both sides in depth, but the fear here is that you have a larger corporation with unlimited resources that may feel they can outspend you. You know what I mean? When it comes to a lawsuit,
Well, that's also part of the strategy too, is that they know that, they know exactly what they're doing. They know the playbook. They know that number one, that IP cases, these intellectual property cases, can get into 6 figures easily. Yep. Just to get to this point, it was not in my budget whatsoever.
Right.
But you feel like I have to defend my right now. But then what they do, and a lot of attorneys will tell you this, corporations will tell you that, but then they just bleed the business because you can't afford that. You can't. You're a lot of entrepreneurs, and I don't know anybody else can relate to this, but you're day to day sometimes. You're week to week. You're like, I'm trying to figure this out as I go. I'm building a parachute, and I've already jumped off. So you're just trying to get along, and everybody in business is waiting for that hit, waiting for that one thing. And that's why you do it. You got a certain skill set. You're good at it. Your friends and family have pumped you up. You go out there, start a business. You go out there, you get some scrapes, you get some bruises, but you got that talent. You can do it. You believe in yourself. Other people believe in you. Keep doing it. And then that project's going to come along. This one's it. Now do this one for exposure. Now do this one over here. This is the one. Now I'm going to hook you up with my cousin's cousin, and they are in California, and they're going to get you. And it never happens. And then next thing you go and you keep doing it. But then when that one hits, you think, okay, this is it.
Right.
Now this changes.
Mama, I made it.
Right. And
That's that OJ Wright Bronco type thing.
this is your Monique moment.
Right.
This is your precious moment.
This is my precious moment. You know what I'm saying? So you got that one. Every entrepreneur, every artist needs that chance. So now it happened, and they have resources. They've got a team of attorneys. It's just me, and so I'm out here just trying to speak up for my rights and defend my design.
See, I also told them that it was similar to the renaming of the airport, same type of situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's a big company and it's someone, you know what I'm saying, who's not, don't have a company backing.
Trying to crush the little guy.
Right.
Yeah, see, at this point, I mean, of course, number one is the monetary gains, of course, you know what I mean? Because of course, if you design something, or any person that creates art would like to get paid for their art, especially if there's someone getting paid. But just as equally as important now is your reputation.
Come on, right?
Is your reputation now? Because now I watched the clip from who did I watch?
Bill Lamb.
From Bill Lamb the other
Bill
night.
Lamb.
And I watched Bill Lamb, and I mean, we all expect Bill Lamb to be controversial, but Bill Lamb came out in attack mode. And I don't know if Bill Lamb has heard your side of the story.
Evidently not.
I don't think so, because Bill Lamb's assessment is that this is a stock jacket that is put out every year, and you change the color, right? I'm like, I'm listening to you talk. That's the farthest thing from the truth.
Right. So let me speak on this, and I'm gonna give my.
And if someone's listening, you can tag Bill Lamb in this, or share this with Bill Lamb.
Please tag Bill Lamb. But look, all right. So this will be my point of view. I feel like I need some music. You know what I'm saying? Like bulletin music. You know? But no, look, what Bill Lamb did. Now, let's first of all say that Bill Lamb is on the board of the Kentucky Derby Festival.
Okay.
So now he's biased.
So when he put his jacket on, it was made for him last year in like a 43 long. I know his size.
Talk to him.
And probably, furthermore, it probably has my label inside the jacket. Okay. So now, what he did.
So he wearing you.
So I don't know if he needed subject matter. I don't know if they were running short on stories that night. I don't know what he did, but what he did was he misspoke. He spoke out of turn, and he has no idea what he's talking about. And all he did was regurgitate what the KDF narrative is. That all he did is change the color, and we paid him. So get out of here. Why are you trying to shake down KDF for these additional dollars? That was not the case, because every jacket, they've had a jacket every year. I challenge you, go back and find every single Kentucky Derby Festival jacket. The only thing that makes mine different. So let's forget the color change, all that. The only thing that makes mine different is that they monetized it. The only thing that makes mine different is that it became the Derby pin. Okay, the Pegasus pin.
So this is a standard jacket that's produced every year.
No. Well, they produce maybe every 5, 6, 7
years. I'm saying, if we follow their narrative,
right.
To this point, no other jacket has appeared as a pin. No other jacket has won an award that we know of, right? No other jacket is now being mass produced, or the pin at least being mass produced to monetize, right?
Exactly.
So this is obviously something that has strayed from the original.
Exactly. And that was my point. It wasn't about the KDF didn't pay me. It wasn't about that I'm trying to just get more money, you know? And look, and you can't let artists out there, don't let them shame you for claiming your rights and your royalties. You can't shame me for trying to get something that should be mine already, that I shouldn't even have to fight for.
Right.
This should have been a conversation beforehand.
Plus,
and so, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so
I'm about to say, plus the mother jackets was hideous anyway.
Yeah, I mean, so hey, I had somebody comment on my Facebook post like, I'd like to see you make the khaki and black jacket appear. Let's see how it does.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not gonna happen because So that's the issue. And so he put his jacket on and he's trying to act like I'm doing something dishonorable. No, I'm trying to fight for not only my right and stand up for my right and not let somebody just take my work. Okay? Just take my work and do whatever you want to when you did not ask for my permission. I did not sign my rights away. And so he didn't ask me I wish Bill Lamb would have given me a call, said, hey, Andre, I'm about to run this story on my point of view, but what's your side of the story?
Okay, let me ask you a question. When you were working with the what's her name, the head of the Derby board, the one you were working with for the jacket originally?
Stacey Robinson.
Stacey Robinson. When you were working with Stacey Robinson as far as designing this jacket, was Bill Lamb in attendance of any of those meetings?
No.
Was Bill Lamb part of the process of you getting paid or the specifications about how the jacket was to be designed? So Bill Lamb was not involved in
none of the decision making.
Right. Any of the decision making or any of the planning leading up to the creation of the jacket.
Right.
So Bill Lamb is basically just regurgitating something he's heard.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So I didn't know how knowledgeable he was. And
it's a false narrative. It's not true. It's because one of the things that they're saying and put out there is that, and I read this on a website, that He just basically did what we told him to do. He didn't really design it. We told him what to do, and he just found fabric. Man, that would have been so much easier.
Right.
I've been, less stressed. But no. When I walked in, they hadn't even chosen. There was not a color palette that they chosen anything. And then they say something like, these have always been our colors. Well, if anybody pulls out a Kentucky Derby Festival business card right now, if you go to their website, I want you to see what colors you see. You see yellow, you see green, you see like a terracotta kind of orange, because they changed the colors maybe about 2 years ago, So this wasn't something I came up with every single decision. Now, did I go back to them and say, hey, and I would try to give them as easy choices as I could, like, would you like aqua blue or aquamarine blue?
Right.
Would you like, you know what I mean? Like, you want Caribbean blue or you want Caribbean light blue? Like those, I really try to make it easy because I really just, I wanted to be a part of that. And I loved working with them. And I really had a lot of love for everybody over there, just felt like a small little dysfunctional family, and I was happy to be a part of it, But then when you come out and you put out this false narrative about what you told me to do, and that was the furthest from the truth, and now you're discrediting me. I'm not even a stylist. I'm not a designer. I'm a stylist. Now, here's the interesting part. Okay,
I haven't really. You're not a stylist. You're not a designer. You're a stylist.
Right. They're like, we don't even think of him as a designer. Okay? So whether they think of me or not, that's what I did. Okay.
Right.
Now, here's the crazy part. Okay, and what I haven't talked about this on Facebook. I posted it last year, but the VP came to me last year to design her a dress for the Kentucky Derby. And I designed a Pegasus dress. I have a video of me sketching out the dress, sending it to her in a text message, her going cute. And that's the dress we made that you see for her in the Kentucky. So if she didn't think I was a designer, why would you come for me to design a dress?
Right.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay, so at this point now, they've sued you.
Yes.
Has there been a counter lawsuit by you?
No. I spent, man, just trying to get my head around this. Just where do you start? Where do you go? What's next? How do you defend everything? Because at this point, no one's thinking that this is Kentucky Derby Festival. They do parades and thunder, and this is now it became a it's just like this difference of opinion, and it's more than that.
Right.
They know exactly what they're doing. And so yeah, I'm deciding on the next moves. Right now, I'm just really trying to share the right information with the public so we can clear up some facts. Because when it first came out, people were like, well, what about the contract? He got paid. And so I posted yesterday just some clarifying facts. And so that people know that this is not, I'm just not trying to just go back and claim we never had this conversation. It would be like, it's just like if I just, if you guys are like, look, we're starting a nonprofit and we want you just to design a poster for our station, right? And that's it, okay? We're just gonna hang it up. We're not gonna sell it. It's just for us, so the kids can see it and smile, okay? Right? So I design a poster for you. You guys hang it up. No big deal. Maybe pay me some money. Fine. All right. I do it at a discount because it's nonprofit. No big deal. It's just gonna hang on the wall or just for you guys to see. Now, you guys turn around, start making postcards and T-shirts and selling it to the general public. And start, and it happens so much. Like, I can't just walk anywhere and then reprint and sell it to the public. You can't do that. And so that's exactly what they did.
Right. And let me explain to people that put in a different perspective who don't understand intellectual property. Myself being a journalist, I write articles. So I have a website, I write articles. So say, for example, say I'm doing an article on Andre Wilson. Right. And say we hire who's a friend of mine. Say we hire Babcock Zombie to come in and take the photos. Okay. And Babcock takes the photos for my article, and it's a photo of you that I'm going to use in the article. I have permission to use that in the article, right? I can do that. If I then take that photo and start taking that photo and sell it to other companies to use on their site, now I am violating Babcock Zombie's intellectual property rights because he owns that photo, and I have permission to use it in this particular
for that
piece,
purpose. Yes.
But you can't use it outside of other places.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't understand that, but that's how intellectual property works.
Yeah. And there really needs to, and I'm working on and talking to a few different people about, we really have to have training around here around intellectual property because the artist, and that's something really kind of one of the initiatives I want to, like work on probably in the summer. Like, how do we get some training around this? Because we get taken advantage of all the time, and we don't know the language. We don't know what derivative works is. Like we don't know what all that language is, and sometimes unknowingly we sign our rights away. Right. And then number two, we're not even like we're just happy to get to work. Yeah. You're happy as an artist. You're happy to just do what you do. You want to take pictures. You want to shoot the video. You want to model. You want to do the art piece. You want to style design. That's what you want to do. That's what you love. That's why you started the business. But then you turn around, and this is a classic story. Yeah, this is a classic story.
Yeah, and
I would love to say this is new.
It's not, and it's one of those things, like, to put it in hood terms, it's one of those things where they try to play big bank takes little bank, right? And corporations use that. The government uses it. They feel that they have unlimited resources, and they try to drown out, the person with the smaller funds. But the thing here is that I'm surprised. Well, no, I'm not. I was gonna say I'm surprised that this happened, right? But when I first heard the story, because I didn't see their press release, when I heard the story, I called T and I asked her. I said, "Well, did Andre sign his rights over?" That was one of my first things, because some people do that
because you do it
because they get so excited.
Yeah,
right. And it's that last line on the contract.
Oh man, y'all gonna quit discrediting me because I'll share the article first.
No, he did. He did. But no. But I really want to say shout out to T, because she bugged me about this.
Okay.
Right. And I hadn't seen your post. Right. And she was like, "Brad, did you see it?" And when you came up last year, she wasn't here that day. I don't know where she was, but she wasn't here. And I was like, "Dre came up last year." And she was like, "Did he?" And she was like, "We need to get him on. We need to get him on." And I was kind of putting it on the back burner a little bit. Right. And she was like, "Look," and I started looking into it. And I was like, "Okay." And I had some concerns about it, but I'm glad you came on, because I'm glad that you're getting your side out, because sometimes it's easy for people to think when you see someone like the Derby Festival that, well, they wouldn't infringe on his rights, and he probably just didn't know he signed his stuff over. And that's not the case. Right. That is not the case. And look, last year was an exciting time for Derby, for us here at the station, right? Because we had you up here, a black man, designing the jacket, right? Yes. Then we had another black male up here that designed the artwork.
Right. Keith Anderson.
Keith Anderson designed the artwork for was it Woodford Reserve? For the Derby bottle.
Yeah, nice.
So and me and him had this conversation, and I hope I'm gonna get him back up here. But my first question then was, because I think he was working, if I'm correct, he was working in the kitchen, and it was the same type of thing. Okay. He seen one of the CEOs, and he said, "Look, I do artwork at home in my basement." They saw it, and this bottle went out for like $75, and it sold out. And I don't want to speak on him, but it didn't appear monetarily that
right. Sometimes, I mean, and if you know the deal up front, and it's just even, and I don't know what his deal is, his deal structure, anything like that. I'm saying, like. But when you go into a deal and you know it's going to be sold, right? Yeah. And let's say you trying to get your come up, and you just like, hey, give me a chance. Let me get it out there. Right. It's for the resume, whatever the pay is, what what I mean? But if the understanding is when you design this is going to be sold, then you come into it with the knowledge, hey, this is going to be sold to the public. Right. This is my shop, whatever. And like I said, I don't know what the deal structure is, but now but if you come to me and you say, hey, can you design this for our board, and all we can pay is this. We can only pay this. And then, I had to cut corners and just honestly, just to be real, cut out my profit in many cases because we were on such a tight time frame.
Right. And this is your shot.
And this is the shot. And I've designed for Brown-Forman before. Like, I mean, they it wasn't like when I came to this, it wasn't like I had no design projects behind me under my belt. Right. They knew who I was. They all followed me on Facebook. And so now, but if you take that and then you monetize it, now we have a different conversation. And there's nothing. And all I wanted to do was somebody from the KDF board step up and let's have a conversation. I've only had one person from that board contact me, reach out to me, and even check on me. One person out of 120. Okay. So somebody, if this is what they support, if they're okay with, because you're using your resources, your power, your resources, and your community trust, your platform to then they are going after, they are attacking me. You know what I mean? Like, and then you got Bill Lamb coming off left field, man. I was like, and the crazy part, I was telling my man this earlier, I was like, man, my son brought that to me. My 15-year-old son was like, Dad, have you seen the news? And I'm like,
because he tried to go hard. Like, even when I saw it, I was like, wow.
yeah,
Okay.
And at times I consider Bill Lamb to be pretty fair. Sometimes he goes overboard, but
Right.
I would have thought he would have done this without reaching out to you.
What you'd have thought he'd done, he would do his due diligence.
Exactly.
Okay. As
a journalist.
Well, as a journalist, and I don't know if he's a journalist, but if you are a leading journalist, you do your due diligence. You know what I'm saying? And I've met him before. I don't know, just in passing. You know what I mean? He seemed to be a fair guy, but also, you know, he should reach out to me to get my point of view.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know? Or at least if not beforehand, hey, let's have a conversation now, so that you can get both sides of the story and not just regurgitate what you heard.
Now, why would he do that when he's on the board?
That was my question. Are you even? I mean, you can technically, but ethically,
Well, look.
should you give your opinion, being that you're a member of the board?
Well, look, you guys, there's probably a conflict there, but
Yeah.
but what you don't, but they have every president or executive at every station here is on the board.
Wow.
Okay, so they have the reach, but they're coming after me so hard that you got to think, like, you guys are watching, people are seeing what's going on, you know, and sometimes I can only say so much. Then other times I don't know what to say. And I've been between, like, I'm telling the whole story. I'm telling everything. No, here's my truth. No, I'm waiting. No, now we're going to have a hood outburst somewhere. I'm great. You know what I mean? Like, it's just great. Like, because you just want to defend yourself. You just want to be like, because it's not right.
It's not right.
It wouldn't be right for any artist in this community. Not one, especially when people saw me. I was here last year talking about it. And it wasn't like I was in a room. I gave an idea, then they used my idea, and I'm trying to, like, claim. No, I sketched it out, designed it, walked them through the process, chose the colors, sourced the
And your
fabric.
tag is in it, right?
Yeah. The only jacket
They're
that
gonna cut that out.
right, yeah, it's cut out by now.
Yeah.
Right.
If you guys see some stitches,
What tag? What tag?
if you guys see a bunch of just thread marks in it, it is in thread holes. That's where my label was. And the only jackets that don't have my label in it are the ones that I rushed out so that they just got here for, like, their first fashion show.
Right.
But you guys, I loved that project. I loved working with them, and I hate that it's come to this. I really do. I did not want this to be public. It was one of those things where you're like, I will do this. I will fight now. Don't make me. You know what I mean? You just don't make me. Don't make me. I will. I'm not afraid to. I'm not afraid of you. But let's work this out. Like, I wanted to sit down at the table and say, come on, you guys, let's come up with a fair solution. Maybe at first they just got it wrong. Hey, we didn't know, because intellectual property is weird. You know, you don't know. But
how difficult is it to say, okay, even if you feel, I put myself in the shoes of Kentucky Derby Festival,
right,
and I feel that, okay, it is on a jacket for us,
right,
and then I see how popular this jacket is,
okay, right.
And then I look at it that, look, we have $45 invested in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this particular point, can we sit at the table and at least offer some residuals on sales? You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure there could have been something reached. You know what I mean?
Something.
Yeah.
You know, something. Not one person.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, one person, and it's just a random board member. But you know, and they can't really, you know, but they should have come to me and said something. But each time they doubled down on the position. And then the narrative got even more ridiculous.
Right. So initially, when you sent these, I want to call them demand letters, you're sending out letters informing them about your intellectual property.
Mm-hmm.
Was there ever a response, or did it just?
Oh no, yeah, they would respond with their attorney.
Okay.
And then they would double down on the position. The first letter was, all he did was change the color. Why would we pay him when, you know, we're shocked that he would even send this letter? then I had to go through, and the thing that probably made me just the most mad. I had to go through and prove my work. I've got every email. I've got every text message. I have the proof.
Right.
I've got the sketches. I've got the renderings. Everything I just talked about I did it, and I have it. And so for them to just say, no, we saw you create it. We watched you create it. We enjoy the creation. Now we're going to benefit monetarily from the creation, but you don't, nothing. And now, and also in the original article about the pen, he talks about how people love the design And guess how many times you found my name in that article?
None.
Even take a guess.
None.
None.
Yeah.
None. Doesn't even mention. And some people even, cried out on Facebook, like, why wouldn't you even why wouldn't you even mention it? You know, could you not even mention his name?
Why when we win these awards for these jackets, why wouldn't we bring the designer to the the award ceremony?
And here's the thing that here's what I hate about this is that this was the first time, I'm gonna say in my history with the Pegasus Pen, this was the first time, and I think they missed this whole opportunity. It's the first time that people felt connected to the design. Okay. They missed that whole opportunity because my friends were going out buying 3 and 4 pins. Okay. My friends were going out and buying 3 or 4 pins. And then I had this surreal moment where somebody had me autograph the package because you see the pin, but also the package is the design as well.
Oh, the package is the design of the jacket?
Yes, sir.
It's always been a white envelope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they definitely capitalized.
And then there's promotional material with this everywhere. I'm trying to get on the right now. So, but so people were buying 3 and 4 pins. People were like, they were also buying pins and sending them out of town. My friends were like, I got one friend who she bought 3 or 4 for her son in Florida so he could give it away. Like, hey, I know this guy. People felt personally connected to and they lost all of that.
Okay, let me go a step further. People that know you felt personally connected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, like I said, when we had you up here, and is it Keith Anderson?
Keith Anderson.
When we had him up here last year, right?
Right.
This is the first time that I know of that the Black community felt connected.
Right.
And this is something they really could have capitalized on because when it comes to Derby, there's always been, and for those that are not from the Louisville area, there's always kind of been this unsaid thing of our Derby, which is Broadway cruising, and their Derby, right? And their Derby usually has the most monetary gain. You know what I mean? But we never feel, when I say we as the Black community doesn't necessarily feel connected to the Kentucky Derby Festival because there's not even many official Kentucky Derby Festival events that are African American.
Right.
I think we have the Slice and a couple other ones, but there's not
there
many.
might be a step show thrown in there.
Right. So with you designing the jacket,
right, and
then the bottles being made, it felt like there was a Black presence in the Kentucky Derby.
Right.
And I'm not shocked. Why I keep saying I'm shocked because they must not know Louisville like I know Louisville.
Right.
The Black community will totally turn on the Kentucky Derby Festival, and the Black community will voice its opinion via Facebook, via Instagram, via whatever. And I don't think there's a kind of backlash that they want.
No. I mean, and that's what I just this has been such a struggle that you had not only did you have that moment to feel connected and know the person who did it, but as a Black designer in a non-fashion community in Kentucky, how many odds are we bucking right there? Right. You know what I mean? So it was an opportunity for the guy that was like me when he's 7 years old. He's drawn on the back of cereal boxes and sketching out dresses, and people are like, okay, we'll know about Dre. What's going on with Dre? Like I'm sketching out dresses.
but that happens, right?
Yes, right. And you just feel weird. Like I'm sketching out designs and drawings on the back of cereal boxes and stuff like that. And I don't know that you can be a designer. I don't know what that is. I just know I'm the kid that would rather draw and sketch. And I'll play cards too, but I'd rather be drawing and sketching. And then you don't see anybody like you. You know, how many choices did we have? It was like you played ball or you did music, you know what I mean? Or you did something else that we don't want to talk about. Right. Yeah. So that image and that relationship is so powerful to connect with it. Like, because images are powerful. If you can see it, you can be it, and how many kids just the opportunity missed just to say, hey, wait, that guy who designed the jacket, he did it. Maybe I can too, or maybe I can pursue fashion, so because we don't have an industry here. So it is blood, sweat, and tears. It is struggle and grind all the time just to create something, and now they'll create something that is successful, then they missed it entirely. And how amazing would they have looked? Yeah. How amazing would they have looked that they embraced a local designer, that they embraced a minority business, Black designer, and said, you know what, we kept it home. And we did this for our community and supporting and embracing our community, because we can have a lot of days. Like in November, we'll have Shop Local and Small Business Saturday. And I'll here's your opportunity right here to really do it and not just talk about it.
in an era where diversity seems to be the most common thing now, being that we have such a divisive man in the White House.
It's 2019, and I will say this: that diversity is a buzzword right now.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you really look at it, if you really like, it's good to like say it. It's good to put up a couple images of it.
But it's the action.
But are you really about that life?
Right.
Okay, because you have to be aware. And I'm so thankful to the people who shared this, to the people who sometimes don't even see color, but know or might not even understand a Black experience in Kentucky. But they have said, you know what, we just want to do what's right, and we want to learn more about it. So that's what I'm really thankful for, and I'm sorry that they missed that opportunity to embrace so many opportunities on multiple levels.
Okay, so here comes my question.
Oh,
okay. So my question is
ask me something I can't answer.
My question is this.
Okay.
Because I was kind of disappointed in Colin Kaepernick, right?
Okay.
And I get to why I was disappointed.
Okay.
Say we come, or say you, I'm gonna
Okay.
say we. Say you and the Kentucky Derby Festival come to a resolution.
Okay.
And things are worked out.
Okay.
I know often that usually comes with the narrative that there's non-disclosures and we don't speak on this, right?
Right.
Being that you've been maliciously attacked in the media, would you accept a resolution without a public apology?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's a tough one.
I
know you can't answer it now because depending on the dollar package, you know anything. But I mean, I would like to. I mean, that's what disappointed me about Kaepernick, right?
Okay.
We know Kaepernick was compensated.
Right.
We know he's compensated, right?
Right.
But I don't care about the amount.
Okay.
But there was a settlement made, and it kind of felt like the NFL never said, "Hey, we blackballed you. We're sorry." And that never happened. You know what I mean? And he took his money and he rode off in the sunset. And for the guy, me, that was kind of fighting for you, I'm like, come on, man.
Right. You got all that adrenaline, you still hype.
Yeah.
Look, I have not even thought about it that far. I will say this, and I have so much respect for what, just in going through it in Louisville and what I've experienced, and just the attacks, and people don't, like we see the end, but we don't see those times when you just down, when you alone, when you don't even know, why am I doing this? Why? Because you get hit from all sides. Like I might be able to fight 2 or 3 people, but man, you put 7, 8, 9 on my back, I don't know. And it's coming from different places like WDRB, places like that. So you just start getting attacked and you don't even know how to fight it. And it takes a lot to withstand that. Because people like to keep your head up, keep fighting. I'm like, but I'm taking these licks, and they are hard, and they make you check everything. They make you doubt yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I have so much respect for Kaepernick. I don't know. I know that I would also like to take a piece of that model and say, not only did you see him standing up for his right or kneeling for his right, but he also raised money. He also tried to really create change.
And I don't want to cut you off, man. We got to wrap this up. We're out of time.
Man, I'm just getting started.
Andre Wilson, man, we're going to get you back up here. I promise you, man, we're going to get you back up here. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Urban Voices Radio. We out of here, people.
Just getting in my rhythm, man. What are you
I know, man. I did not.